never done the Nashville one yet, right?
I haven't been there, no,
just
but it's
the Chicago one.
Yeah, but I've got to get up. I got to get up. My flight out of Salt Lake City to Denver is at 5 a.m.
You go to Denver and then over
to Nashville. Yeah,
the flight's at 5
in the morning. Yeah,
well, at least you don't have to get there. I mean, you don't have to get there 2 hours early. You can get that streamlined. But
that's true. But still, it's pretty. It's going to be a brutal one. And then and then on the way back, like I don't get back until like 11:30 at night as well. So it's just going to be a fucking long couple of days. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's tough travel days.
It's not fun. Definitely not fun. But I'm looking forward to the hot chicken. Apparently that's a thing.
Okay.
You get the hot chicken and it's supposedly really good. I mean, I've had hot chicken before, but like Nashville is where it originated. So like presumably it'll be better. I don't know. I'm assuming it's like the same thing as like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich. Like you get one here and they're good, but if you go to like Philadelphia, presumably they will be much better.
Yeah, for sure.
So
how long are you gonna be there? Just a couple days?
Just a couple days, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
it's a longer flight for the couple days. Couple days to go to Denver.
Yeah,
I guess you still have a little bit of driving or your flights are
not really though. Like it's all kind of worked out, but yeah. And then Nashville is pretty far away from where I'm going to. It's like 30 minutes outside of Nashville where I have to go. So it's just I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but looking forward to that hot chicken.
Yeah,
I wonder, like, if we had to think about it, what's like the most overrated regional food? You know, because like every region has got like their thing.
Yeah.
Except for us, we have like, well, I guess we have funeral potatoes, and we also have fry sauce.
I mean, I really like fry sauce.
I love fry sauce. I'm a big fan of fry sauce.
So like Texas has got like barbecue, I guess.
Yeah, that's a pretty redeemable product.
Yeah. I've been to a couple in Texas, and they were good shit.
Yeah, but the thing about it is like that in itself, like, you know, barbecue is not just specific to Texas, right? Like you got Carolina barbecue, you got Kansas City barbecue. I think those are like the two big heavy hitters. But yeah, like what is the worst one? I'm trying to think of the worst like regional. I like a Philly cheesesteak. Those are pretty fucking good. They're not good for you, but they are definitely delicious.
Philly cheesesteak seems like the less complex of it. Like New York's got pizza, and I think you got some decent amount of range in there and what they can have. Like a Philly cheesesteak, I don't know. Maybe I just haven't had the right one. I've been to Philly. I've had one in Philly.
Yeah,
at a bar. It was fine.
Yeah, it didn't light the world on fire for you. I like them. I like them a lot. There's a place actually in like the Ogden area, like Clearfield, that is really fucking good. And the dude that owns it like had a Philly cheesesteak restaurant in Philly for like 20 years. And then he moved here and opened up a business, and it's legit. Except it's a fucking pain in the ass to get food there because like all of the airmen from the Air Force Base go there for lunch. So like every single day for lunch during the weekdays, it's just like fucking packed with people. But it's good. It's definitely good. I just like, I don't know, especially with like all the travel I've been doing, like, you know, every place has got their thing. And some of it's like Colorado's is green chilies, which is also New Mexico, but they like the hatch green chili. Like there are hatch green chilies on fucking things that there should not be hatch green chilies on. It's like, hey, here's this spaghetti with hatch green chili on it. And it's like, why are we putting hatch green chili on everything? Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's pretty good. There's this burger place in Colorado that does hatch green chili burgers with like the chili on top. And that's good. I can get behind that. But it's just
when we went to Italy, we did not immediately have good food. We had to recalibrate. Like we thought you'd go there and you'd just be like, wherever, let's just eat wherever. It's all going to be amazing. And that was for the first couple of days, it was absolutely not the case. And then once you did Googling and sourced all the restaurants you were going to, then you were suddenly like, oh goddamn, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely worthwhile. But there's just a lot of tourist traps. And we literally learned if the menu's posted outside, look that. You want the menu in Italian on a chalkboard.
Gotcha.
On a back wall, and then you're working.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a natural, like maybe pitfall to like run into when you're out and about. Italy, yeah, I've never been to Italy, so I can't speak on that. But I'm trying to think of like places that I've been. I feel like Japan in particular, like everywhere, like there was a lot of us just going places.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were a few places that I researched that I wanted to go to that we went to that were good, but like a lot of the stuff that when we were just walking and we were hungry and found something, like it all was pretty fucking good. Like there was one place we went to and we were just like killing time, and they're big into like American diners in Japan. So they like make like what they perceive to be like American food in Japan, but it's not good. It's really, really pretty poor. And it's just like, this is not quite it. They do the hamburger, but it's just like a hamburger patty. And that's like a big thing in Japan. Like just no bun or anything like that. Just like what we would see, a hamburger patty. And it might have like some gravy on it, maybe. But it's just a patty of beef. And they're like, this is incredible. Like, and they serve that at like American restaurants. So my girlfriend and I got like a hamburger patty and like, I think chicken fingers or something like that. And those were pretty bad. I'll tell you the worst food experience traveling is definitely like England. It's a great place, but boy, oh boy, they are not knocking it out of the park with their cuisine by and large.
No, like you can go, I mean, London will have great restaurants, but the actual staples of England it's not it.
The one redeemable thing is Indian food. Like the best Indian food I've ever had in my life, I had in London, and you know, it's unfortunate.
We had bad Indian food.
Really?
Yeah, we only went to 2 places while we were over there.
Yeah,
one of them was so sweet, it's like someone spilled sugar into the vat, and it blew us away. Like just your standard like chicken tikka masala. I was just like, this is candy. What is going on here? and then we were also under the presumption, because you've heard, you're like, yeah, this is the best of the best, and it's like,
we were taken by a local to like a place. Like he knew about it and was like, this is like my favorite place. So we went there, and it was fucking like not sweet. It was like more spicy than like what you would get over here typically. It was up my alley for sure.
No, like Ireland and Scotland, I really like that like
meat and potato type thing.
Yeah, that's it.
I like it. I like that too.
I really like it, but I will say after a trip there, I was done. I was just like, I can't. Don't you fucking show me another shepherd's pie. And I was just because it had like 9 of them at this point. Like, and that is my style of food for sure. But I don't know that I would be very happy there.
When we were in England, we went with like a big group of people to this bar, and they had like pub food, and we decided to order nachos at this bar in London, and they brought the nachos, and it was like one of the worst things I had ever put in my mouth. Like it was just something wrong with it. Like you can get some really good nachos here in the United States where you're like, oh man, this is fucking the real deal. And I remember the bartender or the server came up to us and was like, are the nachos all right? And one of the people in my group was like, these are more like no-chos. And it's pretty stupid, but no-chos.
We got I remember we ordered fish and chips in England, and it just, there was no salt, and it just was like, it was just gorgeous. Like they bring it out, you're like, wow, and then you take a bite and you're like, there's nothing here. There's just nothing going on with this thing.
Yeah. Like England, Ireland, that kind of vibe. Like they definitely, like I can fuck up a shepherd's pie and I really enjoy that. Really good. But like when you've had 10 of them in like a week, you're like, or just like a giant shank of meat with like gravy on it. And you're like,
big fans of gravy over there.
Yeah. And you're just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, we've been doing this every day. Like, there's no variety here. And what they do, I will say, like that stuff, it's fucking bang on. It's fucking very good. It tastes good. But also, it's just like, give me something else, dude. Like, I just like something else, please. So yeah,
it's got to be shocking for him to go out of the country and see.
It's probably a revelation for them.
Their taste buds are just exploding.
Yeah, they're like, this is fucking wild. Say what you will about American cuisine, and like there are many areas where you can critique our fat asses for being like extreme, and but it's pretty damn good food in the United States, and so it's kind of tough when you travel other places and you just don't really know what to expect. So Japan is fantastic from that perspective. Like I said, everything was good. China is like also fantastic food, but China is you're like a little sketched out. You're a little bit like, I remember the first day I got to Hong Kong while I was there. I like spicy food. So one of the people I was with, like he like found like the spicy, like specifically spicy cuisine. And we went to it and it was like a spicy chicken, prepared in different ways. There's fucking chickens inside, like in the back of the restaurant, live chickens, Nick. And I'm like,
you're eating their brother.
Yeah. They're just like, I can hear them fucking like moving about and like clucking and shit.
Murdered.
Yeah. And getting murdered in the back. And I'm just like, this is different, dude. Like this is, and it was good. Like it was a good experience.
Fresh.
It was very fresh.
It was very fresh.
Yeah. Just like recently, head chopped off and plucked right before we sat down. Another situation while I was in China, we sit down at the restaurant, and this was in Beijing, and this dude, it was a catfish restaurant. So they specialized in making catfish dishes. That's really big in like China. It's like you go to a place and it's like, what, like you go to like a restaurant here and there'll be options for like different people. It's not really the way it works there. It's more like, we are good at this one thing and that's all we make. We like make variations of it, but that's all you're going to get here. So we go and we sit down, and the guy that was waiting on us had like a Tupperware container in his hands, and he walked up and he was like holding it with both of his hands, and he walked up and he just dropped it down on the table, and there's just a fucking catfish like flopping around inside of it. And like there was a conversation that was had, and then I was told, like that's the one we're gonna eat.
We're gonna eat that.
That one was like, that was like them showing it off, and like in theory, like that makes sense, kind of, because it's like you know what you're eating. It's alive. It won't be for very much longer, but it's also like, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to look at the catfish and be like, that's a good catfish.
Look at him. He really wants to live. Look at that.
Wow. Yeah. Look at him. He's got some real nice fins on him. Like, I don't know why are you showing me this? You know what I mean? And then, just like some of the places you go to, you're like, there's no health code here. Like clearly, like the guy's like wiping his butt and like
concerning.
And making your food, and you're like, and just like pretty bad conditions in certain restaurants and stuff like that. And then other ones are fine. But that's kind of the weird dynamic there.
I think I think we've moved away from like the lobster tanks in this country. That was in the 90s. I remember seeing a lot of those. You go in there, and you're like, you could pick one of those depressed lobsters.
And make them even more depressed, or maybe like put them out of their misery.
I think they would welcome it.
Yeah. No, that is kind of weird. I was always fascinated by that as a kid. Like I would always want to like go and look at the tank stuff like that. That's another thing. Like, yeah, they have not gone away in China. Like, they'll have like walls of just like tanks. I went to a seafood restaurant there, and it was just like a full wall. I don't know, probably like 10-foot wall, just full of individual tanks with different kind of fish just in the tanks. And some of them were so large that there was just like a singular fish in one tank just fucking like floating there.
Wow.
And you just go and like point at what fish you want, and some dude goes and whacks it over the head, and then that's dinner, man.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. Like I think they're really big on like the freshness. Like it's alive, so it's fresh. And then also like they're very much like selective. Like, not that grouper. I don't want that grouper. I want that one. That rock cod is not the one for me. And it's just like, it's a fish, for God's sakes. Like, I don't know. Like, the only thing that I'm really going to worry about is like, that one seems like it could feed, how many of us are there? 6? Yeah. I think that there's probably enough for all 6 of us to eat that one. That one looks good.
The only thing I would like to try as far as the freshness is I really like ahi, and I would love to catch one. And then like immediately, like preferably on the boat, like
eat it,
get after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't, maybe one day I want to, I don't know. I want to try it. I'll just bring a little soy sauce on the boat, and I'll just be like, I'm ready.
A little soy sauce and some wasabi.
You got some wasabi? Yeah.
Yeah, there's something like morbid and grim about it that's hard. Like I know it's like a fundamental part of like eating food is like, you know, it was living at one point and now it is not. I get that. And I do think that it's important to never like really forget that, because it is, you know, it's a creature, a living thing that is losing its life to like sustain us. And so like, I think it's important to be aware of that, but also like, I'm good on the whole, the like visual, the murdering of the animal. And so, and yeah, like, you call me a pussy, I probably am, but like, that's always been tough for me personally. So yeah, like when you're looking at something and you're like, look at that beautiful animal that's going to get murdered here in a second and I'm going to eat, is like, there's just something weird about that to me.
For sure. Absolutely.
I don't know. It's like cute little rabbits. You're like, see a bunch of rabbits in a restaurant in China and you're like, oh, that's nice. They have pets here. And then you're like, oh no. Those are not pets. They're on display for the
menu.
Yeah, for the patriarch of the family to come over and be like, this is the rabbit that I want, and then it's all over.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. All right.